Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. We are on our way home to Virginia, so we've been on the road. Yesterday we took off from my mom's house and then we slept overnight, like we stopped at a hotel. We are finishing the drive today, so I promised you guys on Instagram that I would do some kind of Q&A with Joe. So we're gonna try to answer some questions. We're gonna go through the list, see if Joe can answer any of them. I told him he's obviously driving and I can't even see you guys with my glasses. I'm gonna have to take them off. He's driving, but I told him you don't have to look at the camera. We're gonna see if he can answer any of these. How's the drive going, Joseph?
It's going.
It's going? How do you like your new truck?
I like it.
This is our first like road trip with Joe's new car. So he got like a new truck and he is loving it. It's actually very, very nice. It's got like a really nice big display here. So it's been very nice. I also have like a place where I can charge my computer here. So if I wanted to do some work, I could. So it's been nice. Okay, so I'm gonna start with some easy ones. So favorite vacation spot or place to visit outside of the state?
That's a good one.
You used to travel a lot with your parents. Any place that's like a really nice place to visit?
We would go out west to California. I think there was a lot of cool places to stop on the way there. I think places like Sedona, Arizona, and Zion National Park, all of those were really, really cool.
Yeah.
Frankly, I enjoy going to your grandparents' cabin in Boone.
We love Boone, North Carolina.
Frankly, I don't need destination. It's not my thing. I'm more relax and chill.
Yeah, you're not like if we go on vacation, Joe doesn't like to have like an itinerary full of like a lot of things to do, right? You'd rather just kind of like chill and do nothing.
Hit the hip.
Which is kind of like the opposite of what I like to do. I usually feel like if we're somewhere new, if we're paying money to go somewhere, like, not that I have to do something every day, but I want to like, you know, have some things to do. And Joe would rather be an old man and just be in a cabin somewhere, being able to like take naps. And like to me, sometimes like that's like a waste. But anyway, that is Joseph Pio for you.
That was a hard question. You started easy. Well, where's that?
That was hard for you to answer about a vacation. Let's see. Do you think that you would be a better stay-at-home parent? The answer better be no.
No.
Don't you think you'd go a little crazy? Being home all day with the kids?
I don't know. I think the having like full influence over the day-to-day activity, you know, just keeping it in a state that makes me happy and comfortable.
Would be what?
Would be a benefit if I was a stay-at-home parent, but I'm sure that it would just get monotonous and it would get to me.
I feel like it would probably get to you. I think I have a little bit more patience than you do all day long with the kids.
Do you?
I think I do. I think you'd lose your mind, but that's my opinion. Okay, favorite meal that Kayla has ever cooked you?
What was that?
The pork chops?
Yeah, whatever that was that time. Yeah.
It was a home chef meal.
Yeah.
It was like pork chops with cheese on top, right?
Yeah.
I have to see if we can recreate that.
We kept the recipe for it, but
Yeah.
it was legit.
You liked it?
Yeah.
I'm so glad. What's your favorite thing to like order in? Like if you had to like order something for pickup or like a DoorDash meal, like what's your favorite thing?
It's not an easy one.
This is not a difficult question. It's just about food.
It is, but I just don't have an answer.
Sushi, steak, pizza.
It's all in a mood. It's all in my mood. Sometimes I have the mood for sushi. Sometimes I don't. I think the one place that we used to eat at, that burrito place, was lit. I love that.
But
ordering in that place.
Then it went away.
And then it went away.
And now you're sad.
Now I'm sad.
What about, how does Joe drink his cup of Joe?
Black, maybe.
I don't know how he does it, but just straight up black coffee.
Yeah. I used to do cream and sugar until we did the whole 30, and then I just was able to kick it. So after doing the whole 30, I was straight black coffee. And my taste buds adjusted. So black coffee all day. Sometimes I'll treat myself to
A little bit of my creamer.
creamer.
And that's it. Is there anything you wish your wife did more of? Well, what do you wish I did more of? Cook, clean, wash the knives more often.
Oh, those are things that I very much appreciate, but I would never want to force it if it was something you did want to do.
Okay. Do you wish I would sweep the backyard more often, the patio? Not let the kids put the rocks there?
That would be... The backyard you don't do a really good job at.
Thanks.
You don't. You go out there, you do your thing, and then you just come inside and you never clean up outside.
Okay, so you wish that I would clean up outside more?
Sure.
Okay. What is the best part about being Kayla's husband?
Being with my best friend.
Oh, that's so sweet.
That's just, we're a perfect match.
I think we are. Like, we love being around each other. I love being around you. I would rather be around you than anybody else.
Yeah.
Do you like Kayla's sourdough bread?
Yeah, I do.
You like it when I make my bread? What's like your favorite thing that I've made recently, like baking wise? Like, do you like the bread? Did you like the pretzels?
Pretzels were good.
Pretzels were good. I have to make those again.
I just enjoy the bread. It's just nice tonight to have homemade bread.
Very good. What is your favorite part of being a dad?
No, it's just amazing that you have two little humans that love you unconditionally, and it's hard to describe until you're an actual parent.
It's the best thing.
So just being present in the moment with your children and knowing that they want you to be there.
They do. All right, will Joe go to an Alabama football game?
I really do think, yeah, I want to. I was thinking about it, actually.
You think you'll make it out to a game?
I don't know if we'll do it this year, but maybe we'll try to do it next year.
Okay, I'd be down for that. How do you, as a husband, keep your relationship fresh and kindled, especially with children? Like, how do we keep the spark alive?
You just got to keep dating.
Do you feel like we date?
Just take it back to, I don't know, just not fun to get complacent. That's the difficult part, is not to fall into the complacent state of, we're married now, this is the way it is, you're going to lose touch.
Like, not accepting that, maybe?
Yeah.
Like, really doing whatever you can to, I don't know, do something a little out of the ordinary?
Yeah. I'm not good at these deep philosophical questions.
Are they too hard for you?
They are. These are definitely questions I think are better asked to you, and you would answer those better than me.
Well, because I'm like used to this. You're also like in the middle of driving, so you're doing your best. You're doing a good job.
Yeah.
Would you ever come to Idaho?
I do like potatoes.
You do like potatoes? What is there in Idaho? Is there even anything in Idaho?
I'd go to Idaho.
I want to go to Utah.
Utah would be good. I'd go to Idaho.
Well, Riley's already ready to go to Idaho.
Oh, that's right.
That's where she said she wanted to go. Because it has snow, Riley. Okay, so Kayla recently shared her take on sleepovers. Do you feel the same way about that?
Yeah.
On the fact that we're not going to let our kids do sleepovers?
Yeah. I mean, I was raised differently than you were, so...
Like, you grew up going to sleepovers and
Correct.
stuff.
But I understand and respect your concerns, and I support it, and that's that.
Have you always been on board with homeschooling? Any skepticism at first?
Nope. I didn't think it was something we should do at first.
Did you really?
Nope.
I don't even remember us having like the conversation where at first.
I always had it centric to the social aspect of it. That you keep your kids too secluded from the realities of life. They've got to kind of go through those trials and tribulations. It's what develops them as, when they grow up. So if they're in a persistent bubble of, no adversity, and I don't know, you just got to kind of go through that phase of life when you're young of, you're not gonna, things aren't gonna be perfect. You're gonna hit brick walls, and it's just how you overcome those.
Okay, but that was your take on it at the beginning?
Yeah.
Like, has it changed since?
No, it has. Just now it's just more, I don't know, just scary. Now with the whole co-oping and the ability to maintain that level of social interaction is definitely what changed my mind to, it's just scary what you see in the news and on the media, whether it's real or not. All the bad things that are happening to children in school with this, everything. It's just, I don't want to. You would think that you can maintain a level of control, but when you put your children in that environment, you really don't have the level of control you think you do. And there's people actively out there trying to teach your children things that are against our morals and values. And I don't like that.
Okay. So the biggest thing for you was like seeing that we could still like have the kids interact and stuff, and so now you feel a little bit more
Critical part.
more comfortable with it.
That's the critical part. To me, anyway.
Very good. Okay, so I told everybody that you're turning 39 tomorrow. So how is it different, like your early 30s versus your late 30s? Are you more patient, more adventurous? Are you smarter? No to the smarter? I think you're smarter.
Time just flies. Time just goes. Now I'm just focused on slowing time down.
Yeah.
Just spending more time in the moment and not rushing to get to the next day.
Just be more present and enjoying.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay, somebody asked what has helped him to get close to God. Asking to help her husband, I suppose.
You've heard the whole iron sharpens iron philosophy, and I think that you've just got to surround yourself with like-minded people. So it was just, one, having an urge to pursue the path, and then two, focusing on following the people that had that same conviction, that same drive, and then just trying to surround yourself with that.
Yeah, so like I think somebody else asked here in like a different way, but like I think one of the ways that helped you was like joining that men's group at church. So somebody asked like, how has it been going to a men's group at church?
No, that's it. It started earlier than that. It was just more of a, there were just little introductions of people along our journey. You know, it kind of maybe started with my brother a little bit, and then, you know, getting to know somebody like Dom, and then
Dom Rosso.
correct, and then church and father care and the men's group, and you know, going to gyms, my brother's church, meeting his pastor, just a lot of different people.
Yeah, but I think it's important to find those people, like you said.
Yeah.
It makes a difference.
You've got to surround yourself with those kind of people.
The greatest blessing since finding your faith, or like a way in which your life has changed for the better?
Just so much closer to you and the kids.
Agreed. I think our marriage has really been strengthened a ton.
It wasn't bad.
No, it was never. We've never had a bad marriage, but it's even better now.
Correct.
And I feel too like now you probably feel like a lot more confident in like teaching the kids.
Yeah,
Were you in the service, Joseph Buell?
I was.
For those people who are new, do you want to say where you were in the service or what kind of service you were in?
I signed up for the military when I was a junior in high school. Joined the Coast Guard. Wasn't something that just didn't know much about college. Knew that when I graduated high school, I could just not have some type of a path, college or whatnot. So I just enjoyed being on the water. Obviously, my parents were somewhat of an influence on the decision to go that direction. They definitely wanted me to join the Coast Guard because they didn't want me,
What, to go to war
going
specific?
to war. It was right after 9/11, so that was still kind of a big thing. The conflicts in Afghanistan and Iraq. But lo and behold, when I joined the military, joined the Coast Guard, I graduated high school. A month later, I was at boot camp, and was on a cutter down in South Florida. Then we deployed to the Persian Gulf. We're one of 4 of the cutters that were deployed overseas, so I got to be in that conflict, in that war, and spent 9 months overseas. Came back stateside to North Florida, and I just transitioned into the reserves. Did my 8 years, 5 years active, 3 years reserve. The last year or 2, I was with this current job I'm in now.
I don't think you've ever said like all of that stuff. I think I've just always said like, hey, he's been in the Coast Guard, so that's kind of like what he did while he was there. Did the age gap with Kayla bother you at first?
No.
You never thought I was too young for you?
No.
By the way, Joe is 7 years older than me, so a pretty decent age gap. I always loved it. Are you still working out in the garage?
I am.
Joe is still working out in the garage. He was working out all this time while we've been on vacation. Not every day, but he would work out like in the parking lots, right, with the guys?
Yeah, kind of funny.
In the hotel parking lot.
Yeah.
Did you bring any equipment with you?
It's on the back of the truck.
So you brought something.
All I need is a sandbag and a rucksack.
And you were able to do your stuff?
Yeah.
Very good. Are you from Florida as well?
I grew up in Florida. Most of my life I spent in Florida, but I'm originally from Alabama.
Originally from Alabama, then spent most of his life in Panama City Beach, Florida.
Correct.
Which
My
is where?
parents retired, and we moved down to one of the condos we owned in Florida. So that was around when I was starting elementary school.
So you've been in Panama. You were in Panama City from elementary school
Till high school, yeah. Until I
to high
graduated.
school.
Yeah.
And then that's when you eventually moved back to Miami. Well, not back. You moved to Miami, which is where I met you.
Military,
Right.
Miami, back to North Florida, back to Miami.
Nice. What about Kayla caught your eye when we were dating a long, long time ago? We've been together for now like 10 years. So I don't even know if you can remember that far back.
I'm just smoking hot. Chick wearing a Florida Gator shirt.
Why was I wearing a Gator? Oh, because Angie went to...
Maybe.
She had given me that shirt, or we had gone to see the Gator game or something, one of my girlfriends, but I was never a Gator fan. Didn't that make you mad?
Yeah, but it was a good segue for me to break the ice.
Be like, what the heck shirt are you wearing? Roll Tide. All right, how does Joe feel about NFP?
It was difficult at first. It's a lot to understand. But I'm good with it now. I've accepted it.
I think you've come a long way. And there's like a whole, like, I need to do a dedicated NFP video because there's so much to talk about, but I think it was scary. More scary, it was scarier for you than it was for me at first.
Yeah, just so much on the radar that we have coming up, hopefully with a move back. Just
Like the idea of having a child
right now, yeah.
right now.
Just made me very uncomfortable.
But I think you've come a long way. And like, does your faith play a role in how you feel about NFP?
100%.
And it's made you more at peace?
Yes, very much.
Somebody asked, for NFP, if it's fertile week and you're in the mood, do you still pursue each other or do you stay away?
No, I think we still pursue. It's not my, I don't know, it's all a gift from God, so it's not for me to prevent it or not. So
So if it
It
happens,
happens, it happens.
you would take it as a gift from God.
Correct.
So does Joe have any of the same anxieties that you have?
No.
Like have you ever dealt with anxiety?
Yes.
You dealt with anxiety for a bit when the kids were born? Or when we moved?
When we moved. That was a big one.
And-
Jackson just being born with the move, with COVID, with everything that kind of...
So how would you describe that? Like what you went through? What kind of anxiety was it?
I don't know the kind of anxiety. I just know that I was extremely anxious. When I would go to the doctor and they would, I'd express symptoms about what I was undergoing. Just, I don't know, I guess the most significant symptom, I can remember times where my entire face was sore and hurt just from clenching my teeth and just being constantly engaged, constantly thinking about, I don't know, just a lot of things.
Was it like a fear? Was it like anxiety that something was going to happen, or was it?
Maybe a combination of all that.
Because like I have my anxieties that I've shared, like being a little bit nervous to go out with the kids, abductions, that kind of stuff, like all of the intrusive thoughts and all of that. But yours was different, I think.
Yeah, just fearful of something happening to you, something happening to the kids, something happening to me, not having that kind of control, not being there to help mitigate those for you all.
Are you better now?
No, 100%.
Yeah? You don't feel that same level of anxiety or stress these days?
And faith played a big part of that.
I think so. How would you compare your parenting style to mine?
I don't put up with as much as you put up with. I don't play the word games. So if I'm kind of the enforcer of rules, I would accept and agree to that.
So he's a little bit stricter than I am. I think the kids listen to you better.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing to do with your family? What are your favorite things to do with us?
I just really enjoy nothing more than just being present in the moment with you all.
Doing what?
Anything.
Anything?
Just being with you, period.
So do you like going to fall festivals?
Absolutely.
You like going apple picking?
All of it.
Because we're going to do that when we get back home. I'm looking forward to all of those little weekend trips. All right, favorite ways to use your Traeger?
Thaw out a steak, put it on smoke, and just place the steak in there for an hour or two.
Seasoned, right?
Yeah, just salt and pepper. You don't need to season it. I just like to smoke our steaks ahead of actually cooking them.
They're always delicious.
Yeah.
And I've liked how you've cooked corn recently in there too.
Corn's just max temp. Throw it on the grill for 30 minutes.
Super good.
Salt, pepper, olive oil.
We should cook more veggies in there.
Can. Sure can.
Okay, so what advice would you give to a husband whose wife is dealing with a lot of anxiety? Like, what are some of the things that maybe you did when I was dealing with a lot of anxiety to help me cope? Why are you laughing?
It's a pretty simple answer in that whatever she desires or needs, or just do it.
Whatever she tells you to do, do it. So just be there to support her.
100%.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you 2 more questions and then we'll be done. So how is Joe enjoying learning about the Catholic faith? What is one thing about the faith that really sticks out to him that he didn't expect?
It's just been crazy how Holy Spirit works and how much influence he has had in guiding me. It's worked wonders. So that's been the most crazy thing. It's just, we've noticed so many things that have happened along this path that it's encouraging and it's a blessing. It's just worked wonders where little things and then how those little things tie in.
Like the little coincidences that aren't really a coincidence.
Correct.
Like too many things have happened that keep putting us where we want to be.
Correct.
That's very cool. So like how the Holy Spirit has worked in our life lately.
Yes. Because my biggest struggle is just trusting and truly believing. And that's something that I've prayed a lot on and hoped for. And these coincidences that aren't coincidences just help reinforce that you need to trust.
Yeah, in case you guys haven't noticed, Joe's a bit of a control freak. So I think that's been one of the things that you've been like working on the most. Like you always want to control everything and like realizing that at the end of the day you're not in control of really much.
And it's a kind of a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
When I talk about anxiety relief, that was a huge reason of, getting off meds, and there's just a lot of things that you don't need to have anxiety about. I get anxiety when I feel like I'm not following the path.
I think you're doing a really good job.
Thank you.
So then somebody asked, how can I support my husband in his faith journey? Like I guess her husband starting to pursue the path. So what could a wife do to support her husband in this?
I think something that I needed from you that we finally got there was I just needed support. I needed a partner. I needed somebody that was on my level, even though you were far beyond where my path started.
So what does that mean? Like that you needed support, you needed a partner. What did you need a partner to do, and what does support
just
look
to be
like?
With me along along that. I needed just. I felt ignorant to everything, and you had a level of understanding and knowledge on the subject that I needed you to come down to my level. And
teach you or show you the right direction, give you books to read, like what?
Support it. I just felt like in the beginning you were very much grounded and doing your thing, and I was very much lost in trying to establish what you had, and all I wanted from you was to break away from your focus and focus on helping me establish a foundation.
And you feel like we got there?
I do.
Like by going to church together, doing Bible in a year together. Those things I think have all been helpful.
Yes.
Well, thank you for answering these questions, Joseph Buell.
You're welcome. I don't do well with these.
You don't do well with
questions.
Thought-provoking questions?
No.
I think you did a great job. Like everybody here in the comments are like, we love Joe, more Joe and vlogs. When is the next day in the life of Joe coming? So I think people
I don't have the level of philosophical responses and, deep, thoughtful responses. It's just, why do you do this? Because it's the right thing to do. Well, why? Because it's the right thing to do. I don't...
Joe's very black and white.
Yes, exactly. What do you do here? This. Is this right? No. Is this right? Yes. Well, why is it right? Because it's right.
Because it's right.
Like, I can't.
Well, I think you did a great job.
I can't,
Joseph Buell, man of Not that many words, but thank you very much.
Yeah.
So yes, I hope that you guys enjoyed that. Just a little bit of chatting with Joseph. There were a bunch of questions, but you know, I tried to do the best to just give you a little glimpse of what we're up to these days and like his headspace and a lot of things. I know I share a lot of my opinions, and then I get like, oh well, then how does Joe feel about it? Like, let him tell us in his own words. So maybe you got some of that. But yeah, we've got a lot coming up here as soon as we get back home, hoping that we can take you guys along as we start tackling a lot of like these house projects. I was asking Joe now, like on the way here, like when we have these 14-hour car drives, like we ask each other like, okay, well, what are our goals for the next week or two, or what are some of our long-term goals? And we have like some of these like more thought-provoking conversations. And so I asked him what his like short-term goals are, and what did we say? We said decluttering, right, for the house, like decluttering and like getting rid of a bunch of stuff. So I hope that we can share that with you guys. And was there another thing? I think it was just mostly that, right? Just like getting rid of things that we don't need to get rid of. And then
Getting rid of things we don't need to get rid of?
Did I say that?
Yes.
Well, getting rid of things we don't need anymore. We're gonna get rid of them.
Got it.
Declutter. And then I want to like work on our food storage and just take advantage of fall and do some. I want to still plant a little bit of a fall garden. So when we get home, as soon as we get home, even maybe today, I might end up going to the nursery to see if I can get like some little plants. So there's a lot of fun things that I want to share with you guys when we get home. So stay tuned. Lots of family fall vlogs to come and all of that, and just like I said, house projects and decluttering and all of that. So I love you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for just, you know, even being concerned or wanting to know about Joe and just like his journey and all of that. And I do plan on sitting down. I've been saying it now, like I want to sit down and do more like of an in-depth video on like NFP. And I'm sure at some point maybe Joe will want to like schedule some dedicated time to talk more about like just his faith journey in general. I feel like it's something that could probably help a lot of people out there and just like give a perspective, a fresh perspective on somebody that had like zero faith in really anything, and to like how he's like how far he's come. I'm super proud of him. I tell him all the time. And like he said, like it's really blessed our marriage. So hopefully we can share more of that as we go. But that's it for today's video. So I love your freaking faces. Thank you for being here. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.